Soroptimist sisters from all our federations, directors of the SI board, position holders, federation presidents and authorized reps, the SIHQ staff, and good morning and good afternoon and good evening to each and every one of you from across the world, wherever you are. It is truly my pleasure to be able to welcome you and to this year's annual general meeting of Soroptimist International. I'm delighted to see so many familiar faces with us virtually today, especially several of our SI past presidents, including, of course, immediate past president Maureen Maguire. I thank you for your time, your commitment, and unwavering dedication to our shared mission. Our annual general meeting is not just a formality, it is a vital moment for us to come together as one global organization. It gives us the opportunity to reflect on the progress we have made, to ensure our governance remains strong and transparent, and most importantly, to reaffirm our mission to improve the lives of women and girls everywhere. Together, we amplify our voices, we shape our future, and we strengthen the impact of Soroptimist International at every level, from grassroots clubs to the global stage. Earlier this year, in April, we had the privilege of hosting the SI board meeting in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It was such an honor to meet so many of our dedicated leaders and colleagues in person. I would like to take this opportunity to express my appreciation to President-elect Renata Trotman, Director of Advocacy Lee Elwood Brown, SI Treasurer Wendy Logan, Directors Anthea Penny, Kasuko Marita, Sabine Raymond, Catherine Cottridge, Dogama Jamian, and Ilona Hartman, who is the new procedural consultant. They were all in attendance in Kuala Lumpur. I also extend my gratitude to our Federation Presidents, Ginger Cole of SIA, Mary Moy of SIAF, Ruth Healy of SIGB, Havdis Kausdotir of SIE, and Joanne Yeo of SI Southeast Asia Pacific. My thanks also go to our procedural consultant and Governor Sue Rainey, President-elect of SIA, Birdie DeVos, Director of Advocacy Elect, and of course, our hardworking SIHQ team, especially Global Executive Director Deborah Thomas and Executive Assistant Caroline Babcock, who were there in person. The Kuala Lumpur meeting approved an invaluable opportunity to work together in shaping the future of SI. We held strategic workshops led by President-elect Renata and SI Governance Chair Anthea to review our structure and priorities, setting the groundwork for important changes we hope to implement from January 2026, when President-elect Renata Trotman will officially assume leadership of Soroptimist International and Soroptimist International. Our shared vision is to ensure the SI remains strong, relevant, and equipped to meet the challenges of the future. We hope that it will happen. To all of you present today, I sincerely thank you for taking time to attend this AGM. As your SI president, I'm both humble and proud to lead this meeting. I hope today gives you a clearer understanding of how your work at club, regional, union, federation levels connect to SI Global's mission. And what you do locally is the heartbeat of SI at international level as well. It reflects in our advocacy, in our presence at the United Nations, and in the global voice we bring to champion the rights, opportunities, and empowerment of women and girls worldwide. We are truly interconnected. Our strength lies in unity, and today is a reminder that no matter where we are, we stand together as one global family. Yay. Present with us today are our SI directors, position holders, procedural consultant, and SIHQ staff, especially Deborah, our company secretary. I would also like to warmly welcome and acknowledge our 5 federation presidents who represent not only their federations, but the collective strength and vision of Soroptimist International. So your dedication and commitment are deeply appreciated. Thank you once again for being part of this AGM, for your passion and for your service to women and girls everywhere. Thank you for your attendance. So we move on Deborah, yes, and
Yes, we do. To take resolution one. Before the resolution is taken, President Young, I can confirm to you that our authorised representatives of each federation are present. So that is Mary Muir from Soroptimist International of Africa, Ginger Cole, Soroptimist International of the Americas, Havdis Karlsdottir, representing Soroptimist International of Europe, Ruth Healy, representing Soroptimist International of Great Britain and Ireland, and Joanne Yeo, representing Soroptimist International Southeast Asia Pacific.
thank you for that. Can I have someone move this, please? Thank you. Anyone? Hands up. Oh, we've got several. Deborah, can you note?
Joanne. Yeah, Joanne.
Was the first in the
Yep.
photograph wise anyway. Next is Mary, I think, or is it?
Thank you.
Mary has her hand up.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Anne. And I need a show of hands for anyone who's against, which I'm sure is not. If no show of hands, we will take it as none and abstain. Anyone? No, thank you. Can you put 5? Yes, thank you so much. And now we move on.
The in memoriam is next,
Yes,
President Young.
yeah. Unfortunately, with sadness, we have to observe 1 minute of silence to honor the Soroptimists who have sadly passed away this last 12 months. We pay special tribute to Carolyn Hudson, past Federation President of SI Southeast Asia Pacific, and our former SI Treasurer, whose remarkable leadership and contributions will never be forgotten. May their legacy, and we would also like to remember all those who have served us so well. If we have missed out any names and all, please forgive me. Could we then take a minute silence to remember all that they have contributed and all the legacy that will inspire us to carry forward our mission with strength and purpose and unity. Thank you. Thank you so much for pausing for this minute of silence. Thank you so much. And can we move on now?
Yes, we move to the rules of procedure and guidelines for discussion now.
And it's to resolution 2, right?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. I think many of you would be familiar with this. But in case some of you are just wondering what is this, some members just have a quick look. We will move on and then take the resolution 2. Basically, we are talking about the rules and procedure and guidelines for our discussion for this meeting. And basically is to be concerned or conscious of how we behave, how we discuss, how we agree or not agree. Even if we don't agree, we can agree in a very nice way. So that we will have a very good meeting. Yeah, thank you so much. So if we are okay, can we move on? And we need someone to move the resolution. We have Ruth
and Ginger.
And Ginger seconded. Thank you so much. And we will now ask for show of hands. Anyone against the rules and procedures? I'm sure there's none. Thank you so much. If there's none, abstain. Anyone? No. Okay. 4, 5. Resolution 3, we move on to adoption the agenda, that the proposed agenda is agreed. And I think those who need to have it would have got it earlier. So can we have, yeah, I think show of hand is Ruth, not Ruth, sorry.
Joanne and Ruth.
Yeah, Joanne and Ruth, please, for propose moving and seconding. Can we have a show of hands? Anyone against? If none, abstain. Anyone? No. 5 over 5, please. Resolution 4, we move on. That the minutes of the AGM held on 13th of July 2024 are received. So can we have someone move this? We have
Ginger and Mary.
Oh, Ginger.
Mary's moved, and I think it was Ginger who seconded.
It's okay the other way down. I think it's fine. Yeah, it's done. Are you okay? All right, everyone. That anybody against the minutes of the GM held on 13 July last year, 2024 receiver? Against none, abstain none, 4, 5. We move on to resolution 7, the appointment and retirement of directors and position holders since 13th of July 2024, from last year, July 2024.
Yeah.
So some of the start dates, 2024, we have just a quick run through,
President
and so on.
President Young, I'm happy to advise the changes if that would be helpful.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you. So retirements since the last AGM held on the 13th of July last year, 4 directors retired on the 31st of December: Isabel Smith, Tycho Endo, Teresa Lyford, and Connie Mutunhu. 3 new directors were appointed on the 1st of January 2025: Kathy Cottridge, Bobby Endelin, and Dolgormo Jamian. And on the 20th of January 2025, Jojalila Mufika was appointed as a director of the company. We also have some new appointments in our representatives to the UN. In New York, Sophia Calicchio, Marlene McLean, and Oya Dane joined the team there. In Geneva, Pascal Mulet and Olga Nanopoulou joined the team. And in Nairobi, Victoria Kutu, Habiba Alambo, and Shalene Wanjiro joined the team. Those are all the changes that we have recorded in the last year. So if we could please have a mover and a seconder for the resolution.
Deborah, Mr. Young, I wonder whether I could ask a question first.
Sure.
These are the directors as we have at the moment. If some of the resolutions later on go on, then presumably the director list is going to change, isn't it, for January 2026?
We are recording what's happened in the last 12 months. Ruth.
Yeah, but some of these have got an end date, which is at the end of December 26, which will change, won't it, if the resolutions get passed later on?
Yes, I would defer to Anne Gover on that. Should that be recorded now?
No, it's not recorded now because this is for the previous year. Those changes will be in the next year's annual meeting.
Ruth, are you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, can we have someone move this?
Joanne and Ruth.
Record of directors and position holders, noting the appointments and so on, and retirement since July, 13 July 2024 is approved. We have someone move,
Joanne and Ruth.
Ruth Healy, thank you so much. Anyone against resolution 5? I'm sure none. Thank you. Abstain, anyone? No? Can we have 4, 5? Yes, thank you. We move on to item 8. For this one, I would need to request for Chair of Governance, Anthea Penny, and SI President-elect Renata Trotman to please present this paper because it's a bit more complicating. But do you want to move it now? Come on now, present.
Yes, yeah. Please. We have a short presentation.
I will report on the background as to the why and how, and then Renata Trotman, President-elect, who led the review, will report on the outcomes. So during 2024, Soroptimist International undertook a comprehensive review of its strategic plan. The process actually included an in-depth analysis of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats facing our organisation. Through this review, several key issues were identified regarding the functioning of the SI board. Among the most pressing concerns were a lack of overall governance skills and effectiveness, with some directors becoming disengaged, a lack board meetings that were often unproductive with inconsistent adherence to policies. There were fractures in the delivery of our work, exacerbated by a bureaucratic structure. And there's ongoing challenges in balancing resources between global and local needs. Those were just some of them, as well as inconsistent internal and external communication, which was often unclear, not inclusive of all stakeholders, and led to mixed messages and a lack of transparency. In response, a decision was made to restructure and reposition the SI board to ensure that our leadership and directors are skills-based. Each committee will now be chaired by a specialist in their field, while strong collaboration and representation from each federation will be maintained. Federation presidents will continue to serve as board members, ensuring that the federation boards are heard and involved in the decision-making. A review team led by Renata was established to drive this process forward. The review committee took on those objectives and developed a set of recommendations for change, which focused on a clear definition of board tasks, the SI's organizational structure, roles and responsibilities, and the proposed criteria for our board members. These recommendations formed the basis of a detailed review plan, which was discussed over 2 days in Kuala Lumpur, with the SI board and the authorised representatives being present. The proposed structure, roles and responsibilities were thoroughly debated and discussed. I'm very pleased to report that there was a unanimous agreement among all present to accept the recommendations of the review. At this point, I would like to hand over to Renata, who will summarise the outcomes and the next steps for you. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Anthea. Yes, now we can use the slides. The core group began its work in mid-January and met 4 times until the end of March. We followed a structured, step-by-step approach, always based on the SI Articles of Association and bylaws. First, we defined the tasks of the SI board, reaffirming its core responsibilities: governance, advocacy, representation, financial oversight, and strategic leadership. We then reviewed the organizational structure. The current model, with SI directors also serving on multiple committees, has placed an unsustainable workload on individuals and created silos of information. To address this, we proposed replacing the working board with a clearer and more efficient structure. As a next step, we defined roles and responsibilities, establishing a governance framework that promotes transparency, accountability, and alignment with SI's strategic priorities. We also needed to identify the skills required for each position to ensure the board operates with the necessary expertise to lead the organization effectively. We further agreed to replace the rotational principle for the SI president with an open election among eligible candidates from all federations. This will enable the selection of the most suitable individual based on defined criteria and organizational needs. Finally, we ensured that all proposals are aligned with SI strategic goals, focusing on governance, advocacy, collaboration, communication, and digital development. The revised board will be smaller, comprising the president-elect or the immediate past president, the 5 federation president, and 4 expert directors. 2 of these roles already exist: the SI Director of Advocacy and the SI Director of Finance, the Treasurer. We now propose adding 2 further expert roles: SI Director Governance and SI Director Foundation. These directors will also lead the committee for which they are responsible. This ensures clear accountability, appointment on base skills, and greater involvement of the federations through the work of committees. We now move from rotational leadership and overlapping roles to open elections and clearly defined responsibilities. This shift fosters transparency, accountability, and stronger engagement across the federations. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Renata and Anthea. Can we wait? Can we have someone pass that the proposed changes to the SI Articles of Association, as mentioned just now, detailed on pages 3 to 6 of paper 8 submitted to this meeting, be approved? Can
Mary and Ruth.
Mary
and Ruth.
Ruth, okay. Anyone against? Anyone abstaining? No. Can we have the votes as 5? Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for the work and accepting this one. Thank you so much. So 9.0, the SI Limited financial statement. Can we have Wendy do the presentation, please?
Yeah. On behalf of the Finance Committee, my pleasure to present the Financial Management Report for SI, Soroptimist International Limited, for the year ending 31st of December 2024. The Finance Committee for 2024 was made up of Chair Barbara Cole, the SI President, President-elect, one Director, the Global Executive Officer, and myself as Treasurer. Next slide, please. The Finance Committee manages the SI finances, including oversight of the 4 bank accounts, managing the income and expenditure to budget, checking and authorising payroll, management of insurance, reviewing and sharing the quarterly financial statements with the board. Next slide, please. The oversight of SI investments includes meeting quarterly with the Rathbones investment manager, funds that are not currently required to invest in Barclays Treasury deposits to earn interest. Other work includes preparing for the annual financial review of the financial policies, planning to make sure SI remains solvent, and looking out for cost savings whenever available. An example of this was relocated the office, which Deborah led this year, which will be a really good soft cost saving for us. The member dues are our main source of income. The dues are paid through the federations to SI by 30th of November each year, and are apportioned 6 months in arrears and 6 months in advance. Next slide, please. The income, this is just a quick summary. 90% of our income is federation dues. The investment portfolio creates around about 7%, and other income 3%. Next slide, please. This slide summarises the major expenses, including the expenditure on the vital work that is done by SI to advocate for women. These costs include representation at Commission of the Status of Women, CSW, and other UN centres, administration and communication. Next slide, please. The expenses, this graph shows the proportion of each of these costs to total expenditure. Staffing has made a great cost to support us all. And then that's followed, the next one is administration and insurance and rent. Insurance is going up and our rent will go down this next year, which is very good. And advocacy is another major expense. Thank you. The key figures from the SI, Soroptimist International Company Limited by Guarantee, unaudited financial statements of 31st of December 2024 that has been subject to an independent chartered accountant's review report are: the turnover was 348,343 GB pounds, administration expenses 346,533, other operating investment income and interest was 40,138. That gave us a pre-tax surplus of 41,928. Surplus for the financial year after taxation of 38,056. The total capital reserves as at 31st of December were 1,271,319. Next slide, please. Looking ahead. Decreasing income from membership dues and rising costs are an ongoing challenge. The value of investment portfolio has also declined at present due to the world economic market, or it had declined at the end of last year. It is going up slightly this year, which is quite good at the moment. So that's good to look ahead. Again, we make treasury deposits, etc., earn interest with anything that any funds that we're not using immediately. The board has established specific funds for future needs, and they're detailed in the next slide. Total designated reserves are 775,858. This includes the investment portfolio, which at 31st of December was 614,674 pounds. Future member events, and basically we had a capital investment fund, and we had a 50,000 contingency, which the board decided to use for our face-to-face meeting so we could discuss the restructure you've just heard about. And we have a staffing reserve of 18,000. Basically, the inability to travel and other savings during COVID helped us to really establish these funds. The investment portfolio was contributed by the sale of a building and other surplus funds, but these other funds mainly came from events, etc., during COVID. So in a way, that was a blessing for our finances. So basically, I recommend the financial statements of SI Soroptimist International Limited for December 2024 be received by the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, can we move on to the resolution, passing the resolution for point, sorry, one minute. That the SI, Soroptimist International Limited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2024 received. Can we have someone move this?
Ginger and Joanne.
Thank you, Ginger, Joanne. Anyone against? No. Can we have a show of hands? Anyone abstain? If none, we note it as 5. Thank you so much. Thank you, Wendy. I think your job is not done yet. You got one more to go, right? You're going to present the annual report for the Soroptimist Limited SI Foundation year ended 31st December 2024.
I thought the annual report was before that.
I'm President Sue Young. This
Sorry,
resolution is asking the authorised representatives to receive the annual report of 2024. And I'm delighted to inform the meeting that the annual report is published today on the new SI website, and we will be coming back to that later in the meeting to present it briefly on screen.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
We're ready for the resolution to be moved and seconded and voted on, please.
Okay, please. Anyone moving it? Yeah.
Move and second, please.
Oh, sorry. Haftis and Joanne.
Yep. Thank you. Anyone against? Abstaining? 5 for the vote. Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry, this is the one. Presentation of the Soroptimist Foundation expenses by Wendy, please.
Thank you, Sue Yong. As Treasurer, I'm presenting the Soroptimist International Foundation financial statements for 2024. Next slide, please. Some of the key points about the Soroptimist International Foundation was created by a trust deed, same objects as Soroptimist International, main goals. The Soroptimist International Limited is the sole trustee, and SDI directors are responsible. It is registered, has UK charitable status that commenced in July 2021. And there was a change to what happened before, was that basically the President's Appeal Day, 10th of December, has become Foundation Day. And we'll be hearing more about that from head office later in the year. So we'll have a really good promotion this year. Next slide, please. Some of the benefits of having the Soroptimist International Foundation are funding and promotional benefits for long-term projects. So we could have longer than the just 2 or 4 year projects that we've had in the past. Receive legacies and donations, and we've already had a couple of considerable legacies. Discounts that are available for charities, we've tapped into some software, charity discounts, fundraising, ability to apply for, receive grants, and tax exemption for particularly UK taxpayers. Basically, in summary, the Soroptimist International Foundation income for 2024, donations from federations were £63,660. Memorial legacy donations were 2,155, totaling 65,815. This was a 74% drop in donations from Federation compared to the previous year, which is quite considerable. So it's something we really will be working at. And as I said, we'll be getting some information from HQ about 10th of December, our Foundation Day, and Gilly's going to be telling us in the future, we'll be putting some more emphasis on this to build up the funds for the foundation. Next slide, please. Projects that were funded from the 2024 financial accounts. So there was a remaining project from Opening Doors to a Bright Future, President Maureen's appeal. Rose Academies Uganda received 11,487 for education and life skills training. World Vision International Georgia, digital technology training, 26,000. Moses Petroni Foundation Paraguay, empowering girls through sport, 26,816. Next slide, please. Projects funded in 2024 continued. We have a woman in from war-torn countries donate, and these funds were donated by SI Taiwan during that year. SI Lamari and Mali received 41,000 for education of women and girls in food agri techniques. Steve founded Senate Foundation in Haiti received funding for girls' equal access to education, including positive periods, 8,000. Projects funded from the general funds include the Steve Senate Foundation for Nepal, which was a similar project, one in Haiti, but that came from the general fund. That one came from the war-torn, and this one came from the general funds. And basically, the Cora Development Project in Sierra Leone, which was finishing some school facilities. And then our latest project, Greening Our Horizons, SI Nairobi, Kenya, received the first tranche of funding for that project, 2,988. Thank you. So current projects that are still ongoing at the end of 2024 were some opening doors remaining projects. Georgia, digital technology training, Cambodia, rural community education for women and girls, which has been a great project. We have excellent reporting on that one. Caribbean, providing digital skills, networking and opportunities. Paraguay, sport empowering marginalised girls. And I'd like to thank Past President Maureen for all the help she gives me with keeping track of all these funds. And it's been really, we've had some wonderful reporting on those projects, which you will have seen on the SI website. Education of women from war-torn countries, that's ongoing. The donation to Haiti and Greening Horizons. Soroptimist leading the way from Africa. This has been one of Sue Yong's pet projects, and this is mitigating environmental degradation and improving food security by engaging women planting trees and crops. And we've also got the Nepal for access. So that's what's happening at the moment. So I recommend that the Soroptimist International Foundation financial statements for the year ended 31st of December 2024 be received. Thank you.
Okay. Can we have someone move it, please? Mary, yeah, thank
Mary
you.
and I
Ruth.
can't see a second hand. Oh, Mary and Ruth, thank you.
Thank you. Can we have a show of hands if there are any? Sorry, my throat is getting bad. For any objections or sorry against it? Don't think so, right? Abstain, anyone? If not, we take it as 5, 4. Thank you. Okay, I think now we come to the parts. The resolutions are taken and we are going on to reports from several of us. So I will start with the first one. My report for the year 2023-24 from July last year to July this year. Not July, sorry, June, May or June. Yeah, thank you. Wait, 1 minute. So at this AGM, I'm deeply honored to be able to offer my reflections for the year 2024-2025 biennium. Next slide, please. Okay, these are some of the sessions that seem to have attended, chaired the SI meetings and so on, which I really don't think is necessary. Represented SI through some travel, attending Federation conferences, clubs and union celebrations, and key international events. Participated in several UN sessions in Nairobi, New York, and Vienna, and strengthening advocacy and deepening connections and collaboration with SI reps at the UN and partner NGOs. That was quite valuable because being there in person helped a lot to really connect and understand the work that we do at that level, at the global level. Today's report covers activities from July 2024 to May 2025, following on from the previous update that I did at the last AGM in 2024. Thank you so much for that. Can we have the next slide? Thank you. Okay. In July, I attended the SIA's 48th annual biennial conference in Seattle. I delivered a speech during an introductory session titled Opening Friendship General, and also at the session Local and Global Together, Soroptimist International, where I introduced our UN reps who were the speakers. It was a privilege to learn about the invaluable contributions of our SI reps at the UN centers. Their efforts help to bridge the grassroots work of our federations with the global platform of the UN, ensuring that our voice for women and girls is heard through our statements and participation at key meetings and side events. So next slide. Okay, in October, I was so privileged to be able to attend invited by President Habdis, to the SIE governors meeting in Iceland, and had the privilege of being one of the 4 participants to light the candles during the official ceremony. Next slide, please. I was very, very impressed by the 3 leading scientists from the Icelandic Met Office. This is something I needed to say because I really felt it was really very, very important. From the Icelandic office and the University of Iceland, who gave an in-depth presentation on their research into climate patterns and nature's unpredictability during a workshop titled Nature Reigns, Man Learns. I was hoping it's Woman Learns as well. Their work in monitoring and forecasting Iceland's unique natural phenomena, and it was so enlightening and highly relevant to the global climate discussion. Thank you so much for that, Habdis, for having me there. Thank you so much. We also took, next slide, please. We also took a short drive to visit the power plant, which is the 3rd largest geothermal power plant in the world, where we were introduced to the city's innovative use of geothermal energy for heating homes, and learned about how Iceland leads the world in achieving 100% renewable energy. Thank you for that too. What an experience for me. Thank you. Next slide, please. After that, I had the opportunity to go to CHOGM, which is the Commonwealth Heads of Governments meeting in Samoa, to speak on the statement titled The Necessity of a New Optional Protocol to CEDAW to End Violence Against Women and Girls. During the side event on gender-based violence, a joined-up approach, which was organized by the CBWN, which is the Commonwealth Business Women Network. And as I made a call to action for member states to support a treaty to stop violence against women in the form of an optional protocol to CEDAW, based on General Resolution number 35. And our goal is to take this call to action into each session to encourage as many member states as possible to support the initiative, which currently EWT, that is Every Woman Treaty, and SI is working on, and we have the backing of 16 member states for the treaty. But ideally, we need national advocacy from all member states. So we have to work towards that. Thank you. Next slide, please. It was a very fantastic opportunity during my visit to connect with SI Samoa, and had the honor of launching the initiative to support a mobile medical clinic in Savai'i, Samoa. This project will make a significant difference to the health and well-being of the residents of Savai'i. And SI delegates were also invited to attend the launch of a mangrove replanting ceremony. Of course, this wasn't our project, but it was a Rotary International project at Samoa. But it was helpful to see what others are doing too at that level. Next slide, please. At the opening ceremony of CHOGM with the theme One Resilient Commonwealth, Transforming Our Commonwealth, His Majesty King Charles III stressed that climate change has recently been raised as a primary concern again and again. He added, it is well past being a problem for the future, as it's undermining the development gains long fought for. He talked about the terrifying storms, devastating floods, and catastrophic wildfires as lives, livelihoods, and human rights are at risk. He encouraged actions to reduce carbon emissions, build resilience to current and forecast impacts of climate change, and restore and conserve nature, both at sea and on land. There was huge emphasis at CHOGM on the urgency of maintaining the planet's resilience due to climate change. So I'm just pointing out that there is really a lot of emphasis even at CHOGM level and from King Charles himself. Okay, I move on to the next one. Thank you. This is at our conference. In November, I had the honor of attending SIGB's annual conference. Sorry, not ours. SIGB's conference in Edinburgh. Thank you, Ruth, for inviting me. It was held in celebration of the Federation's 90th anniversary. I was invited to speak on the theme Enable, where I shared reflections from my journey as SI President, highlighting how our organization empowers and creates enabling opportunities for women and girls. It was also a privilege to join in the 90th anniversary dinner, marking a memorable milestone in SIGB's history. Thank you for the fantastic opportunity to mix and learn with the SIGB sisters. Thank you. Next one, please. Thank you. At the invitation of Nisha Ghosh, President of National Association of Soroptimist Indian, they call it NASI, I attended the charter ceremony of the SI Chennai Marina Club and the formal handover of the president's insignia. The charter ceremony was led by SIGB's past president, Kathy Kotrich, who was invited to be there, and I had the privilege of installing the chain of office. During my visit, I also had the chance to see two inspiring projects supported by Soroptimist clubs in Chennai. Mukti, which is an artificial limb center backed by SI Chennai Marina, and the Ashraya Therapy Center, a rehab center or facility for children supported by SI Chennai Downtown. So these were really impressive projects on the ground. Thank you so much to SI Nasi. Next. At the CSW 69, where SI was involved in more than 20 events, I had the privilege of delivering opening and closing remarks and joining panel discussions at several key sessions, including the panel discussion titled Soylence, and closing remarks on topics such as lowering the environmental impact on women and girls, the effects of changing natural environment on women's health, with recommended actions and reflections on Beijing Plus 30, covering achievements, gaps, challenges, and resolutions related to women and health. I also delivered opening remarks on mental health challenges facing women and closing remarks on the changing face of violence against women. Attended the exceptional Nina Smart portrait in words and song event, which was really fabulous for many of us who were there. And the other event we also attended was the International Health Awareness Network, IHAN, they call themselves, their 40th years of impact dinner. Thank you for all the wonderful experience. And the last one was a connection made by Lee. Thank you, Lee, for that. So the next slide. In April, I think was mentioned just now, so a quick follow-up. At the request of the SI board and Global Executive Director, we managed to hold the biennium face-to-face board meeting in Kuala Lumpur at the Equatorial Hotel. I presided over the board meeting and took an active role in the strategic planning sessions from 2026 onwards, which were led by SI President-elect Renata Trotman. We had a very productive meeting and workshops, which will hopefully lead to meaningful changes to improve our way forward, to foster fellowship and collaboration among directors, federation presidents, and staff in attendance. And as a symbol of Malaysian hospitality, I hosted the welcome dinner at my home, which is the second slide actually. The other two slides were in the hotel. And next one is in May, I had the honor of attending the third biennial conference of SI Africa in Agadir, Morocco, upon the invitation of immediate past President Jalila Mofkia, and delivered a speech centered on the theme Battle Against Cervical Cancer in Africa on the second day. I was privileged to also participate in the handover ceremony of the President's insignia of office at the lovely gala dinner of fun, food, and friendship. They also held a tree planting event of argan trees. You will see plenty of argan trees. I'm sure you've heard of the all argan oil, and it was fabulous. Thank you. Next slide. At the invitation of Jolanta, President of the Swiss Union, I attended the Union of Switzerland Assembly held in Zurich, which coincided with their 75th anniversary celebration this year. I had the honor of participating in the lighting the candle ceremonies and delivering 2 congratulatory messages at the opening of the assembly and anniversary dinner celebration of this very auspicious milestone, connecting with the members of the Swiss Union members and guests from the other clubs, SIE clubs, was a real plus point for my visit. Thank you so much. I also attended the CCPJC in Vienna and did the opening speech at the welcome ceremony of the photography exhibition entitled Soylence. They had an exhibition there, so I was very privileged to be able to see all the paintings and so on, photographs actually of the speakers and so on. One of the most memorable moments was the dinner hosted by Soroptimist in Klostenberg, where I enjoyed the warm fellowship with members of SI Austria. And following that, I joined Martina, Dr. Martina, our SI rep to UN, center rep to UN in Vienna, on a trip to Linz to celebrate the first anniversary of the SI Linz Libertas Club. This visit offered a meaningful opportunity to connect with the new club and witness their inspiring project in collaboration with the Grand Garage, which empowers women and girls by enhancing their technical and manual skills. This particular garage thing is so impressive. They had many training opportunities offered. So the ladies from SI Linz took advantage of it, and they have their project there as well. Thank you. So I will move on to the last, I think. Move on after this because I've already done this one. Thank you. Next slide. Before I conclude, I would like to formally thank everyone on the board of directors, the procedural consultant, advocacy advisors, and the staff at SIHQ for your warm and strong support in meeting challenges and achieving our goals and objectives to the best of our ability, with the best intention to serve SI. In line with my theme, Save Mother Earth, Save the Future, thank you also for helping me plant the seeds, grow the roots, and sprout the shoots, which I hope will help in some small way to green Mother Earth. Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone. So, taken my time. Hope I didn't cross the limit. So next, can I call on, Chair of SI Foundation, Jilly, to make your presentation? Thank you.
Thank you, Soo-Young. Good morning, everybody, or good day. Welcome to this very brief overview of the Soroptimist International Foundation. Some of it you will have already heard when Treasurer Wendy gave her presentation, but a lot of it really bears reiterating. As you know, I am the current chair of the International Foundation. I'm also a director of SI and the president-elect of SIGBY. We also here have Kathy Cottridge, who will probably wave at you in a minute. Kathy is taking over from me on the foundation. Time constraints mean that I will refer to it as the foundation in this presentation. Next slide, please, Joe. In 2024, we saw the foundation move from startup to delivery phase. However, it became obvious that the knowledge and understanding of the foundation, for a variety of reasons, was not particularly well known to all members, particularly the reasons for its existence and how it operates. So just to clarify, next slide, please, Joe, if I can. The SI, go back, Joe. The SI Foundation is managed by the SI board, who act as the trustee, and they are the sole trustee of the foundation. The board ensures that funded projects meet all the objectives of the foundation and adhere to the guidance issued by the Charity Commission. Foundation work is overseen by a dedicated committee, and Soroptimist International seeks to input on issues where we can support women and girls and improve their lives. So if you want to submit a project, email us at hq@soroptimistinternational.org, as you can see on the screen, and address it to the chair of the Soroptimist International Foundation. The Soroptimist International Foundation will score applications against project criteria and due diligence, and will then recommend top projects to the SI board for approval. Next slide, please, Joe. Over the past year, substantial progress has been made to clarify, streamline, and formalise the operation of the foundation, and this is a standard with any new initiative. The foundation now offers a solid structure for independent fundraising and financial management. We have a safeguarding advisor, and our safeguarding policy has been reviewed. It was reviewed in the autumn, as was the risk register, which we have combined to form part of the SI risk register. In addition, we have clarified our position as regards to donating money to external organisations. As we had with previous international presidents' appeals, we do not collect money and simply give it to an external organisation. Instead, we fundraise for specific projects, which in order to deliver them may well be run in conjunction with other outside organisations. Next slide, please, Joe. However, while the foundation continues to provide funds and to raise money, what is still needed is a compelling purpose, a clear long-term strategy that outlines what we are raising funds for, why, and how. Following discontinuation of the International President's Appeal, members are definitely seeking a new, coherent, global focus to guide their fundraising efforts, which you will have seen from Wendy's presentation of the funding. It is therefore time to define a strategy for the foundation that aligns with SI's missions and mobilises long-term members' engagement and external support. This strategy is currently being developed following input from the SI Foundation topic meeting, and it will be launched shortly, so watch this space. Next slide, please, Joe. Right. As you would have heard, in 2024, the foundation supported 5 projects under the Opening Doors to a Bright Future, which were in the Caribbean, Paraguay, Uganda, Georgia, Malawi, and Cambodia. And you can see the coverage on this particular slide. In addition, next slide, please, Joe. In addition, the foundation also supported the following projects. SI Lumiere, can I have the next slide, please, Joe? Thank you. SI Lumiere in Mali, £40,000 was donated in 2 tranches to economically empower 100 women and girls displaced by war, providing them with training and employment, enhancing food security, and developing leadership potential. This was an exceptionally well-run project with wonderful feedback, and it was very impactful, and it actually received wide media coverage in Mali. So well done. Next slide, please, Joe. The Cori project in Sierra Leone is a long-standing project. It is sponsored by SI Thames Valley from SIGBI, and it provides quality learning experience across a range of subjects, which proves that education is not just classroom-based. The project will educate girls to the end of their secondary years, covering also technical and vocational training, whilst at the same time the establishment of a second toilet block, which may seem small to you, but to them is big, actually meets SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. Can we have our next slide, please, Joe? SI St Albans, also in SIGBI, are the sponsoring club for 5 projects working in conjunction with Steve Sinnott Foundations, ensuring girls have equitable access to education. That's actually a mouthful. It's a combination of 2 innovative projects led by women, for women and girls, providing training to prevent period poverty, which they call positive periods, and to prevent gender-based violence, which are 2 factors that stop young girls attending school and accessing education. These particular projects will be taking place in Haiti, Nepal, the Gambia, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. As you heard, the project in Haiti is being funded by the Women in War-Torn Countries Fund, as Haiti is designated by the UN as a war-torn country. Nepal and Haiti are both well underway, and we are waiting now for the reports back from them so we can release the next tranche of money. At the next slide, please, Joe. SI Nairobi are the sponsor club for this very exciting project, Greening Our Horizons, which aims to plant indigenous trees and foodstuffs across 5 parts in Africa. They will be training in women and girls in food production, arable management for sustainable growth, as well as developing leadership skills. The first project is currently underway in Kenya. Next slide, please, Joe. In 2024, for the Foundation Day on the 10th of December, we, in conjunction with Dawn Marie, we produced a podcast and a conversation on the Foundation, which was very well received and which had over 225 downloads. Next slide, please, Joe. So you can see from the above that whilst we still have a good way to go to reach everyone, a significant amount of work has taken place. And I would like to take this opportunity of thanking the 2024 Foundation Committee, as well as everyone in the office, for all of their hard work in publicising the Foundation. So now we have my call to action. Here's my pitch. We need to continue to raise funds for current and future projects through the Foundation. We will continue to celebrate the work undertaken by the Foundation to date, and this has only been possible due to Soroptimist donations. Your donations through the federations, by individual members, clubs, regions, national association, unions and countries help improve the lives of women and girls globally, providing them with the opportunity to have a global voice. Legacies may be made by adding Soroptimist International Foundation to your will. Endowment funds are welcome and will be reserved for projects that meet SI's objectives. And you can recommend projects, as you've seen. You can recommend fundraising ideas or grant applications to the Soroptimist International Foundation. Because obviously we have been working on the streamlining and we need board approval for all of our amendments. These have now been agreed. We've had to stop a little bit on the accepting new projects, but that's actually now kicked off again. So those of you that are waiting to hear back from me, please, you will hear back. That is a quick gallop through what happened in 2024 with the Foundation. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Julie, for that wonderful presentation and explanation about clarification to a lot of points. Thank you so much for that. And we move on to the next subject, which is for Lee to present on advocacy work undertaken 2024.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everybody. We have the Global Impact Committee report for AGM for 2025. Next slide, please, Joe. The Global Impact Committee's purpose is to enhance the work of Soroptimist International by providing a global voice for women through collaboration with the 5 federations. The GIC, as we call it, members consist of representatives from each of the 5 federations that work together to develop, plan, coordinate, and promote Soroptimist International impact campaigns that are aligned to the SI vision, mission, and objectives. During this year, the committee met 5 times to make this planning. In 2024, SI began to identify the grassroots best practice projects from clubs that are selected to be showcased at any of our international and UN meetings or reports by sending a certificate to that club in recognition of their impact. Next slide, please, Joe. I hear those certificates are very well received. SI and the federations recognise the opportunities and benefits to work together on agreed international days to create impact with the one global theme, one global focus, all on the same date. And our combined SI and Federation UN observance days for 2024 were the International Education Day, World Earth Day, International Environment Day, Day of the Girl Child, and the 16 Days of Activism. Next slide, please, Joe. A lot of the details for these days, by the way, are in our annual report that you'll find further details on. So the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence is a global campaign that aims to raise awareness about violence against women and girls and encourage action to prevent it. The campaign starts on the International Day of the Elimination of Violence Against Women on November 25th and concludes on International Human Rights Day in December 10. In 2024, SI's campaign was based on prevention, focusing on educating and raising awareness through social media, sharing vital facts, prevention strategies, and resources to encourage those joining the campaign to prevent violence against all women and girls. Note that some of the shared images on the screen are from our SIHQ on the PowerPoint that went out to all clubs. And this is a strategy that the GIC wanted. They wanted a more positive way of helping violence against women. So prevention is the direction that we took. Gender inequality and climate change. Oh, sorry. Go back. Next slide, please. President Suyong's biennium theme. Through a video presentation at the SI Convention in Dublin in 2023, President Suyong took the opportunity to ask federations to participate in her biennium theme, which you've heard from her, Save Mother Earth, Save the Future. We are the stewards of our planet. Through education, awareness, and collective action, we empower individuals to become catalysts for change. Gender inequality and climate change are interconnected. The UN highlights that climate change disproportionately impacts women and girls, exacerbating existing gender inequalities and leading to increased vulnerability to violence, displacement, and health issues. The climate crisis is not gender neutral. Next slide, please. Commission on the Status of Women. The 68th session on the Commission of the Status of Women, or CSW 68, was held at UN headquarters in New York with the priority theme of accelerating the achievement of gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls by addressing poverty and strengthening institutions and financing with a gender perspective. To help prepare and maximise our members for the CSW meeting, SI held a training webinar, created an SI advocacy resource booklet, including a member's handbook, created various WhatsApp groups for communication and widely communicated details and information. 94 officially registered Soroptimists attended in full force, creating a massive impact with our large delegation. Participating, networking, and involvement with multiple various types of events over the 2 weeks. We met every morning as a group to update the CSW daily negotiations, discuss that day's events, and deliberated on how we can effectively advocate our SI position. Members wrote blogs, reports, and took many photos of Soroptimists in action. SI and the federations held an in-person event addressing gendered poverty, best practices, and lessons learnt. We also held a virtual event on the intersections of gender, poverty, and climate change, and partnered with Women for Water Partnership in a virtual event, access to finances locally for women through gender budgeting. Many of us were also involved and participated in other organisation events. And as you can see from the photos on the slide, Soroptimists never miss a collective photo opportunity. And we are so strong together and always smiling. On the top left to right, you will see the theme of CSW 68, and then Soroptimist queuing in the side street. Those of you that have been there will remember this, prior to the meeting, waiting to attain their UN pass. The next meeting is one of our morning meetings in the UN foyer. And the next one on the top is a meeting where a number of us were strategizing our best options. At the bottom left to right, a group of Soroptimists that met up outside a side event that we attended and participated in. The next is our SI reception, a chance for Soroptimists from around the globe to meet and interact, and we all loved that occasion. Our SI President Su Yong and 3 of the Federation Presidents, Haftis, Christine and Ruth, in the General Assembly, and the corner photo is Charles from the UK Permanent Mission, briefing the UK SI members on the progress of the CSW meeting. But we all benefit from those briefings. It's very beneficial to have that connection. Next slide, please. Our SI Global Impact and Collaboration. These are just some of our partners. As we have had a memorandum of understanding with Every Woman Treaty since 2022, we meet up with them at every opportunity, like CSW and other meetings, to participate and attend each other's meetings. Every Woman Treaty is working towards, as you heard from President Sejong, an optional protocol to CEDAW to stop violence against all women and girls. We participate with them to work towards this same goal. Support for this optional protocol is building momentum, and you heard some of the numbers from Su Yong. We at SI have been and will travel this journey with them until the international treaty is a reality. It's one way we can help women and girls around the world. The support is coming from member states, special rapporteurs on violence against women, and such organizations like the Carter Center in the US. We work closely with members from EWT. As you can see in the photos, Soroptimists and EWT members in a hallway. After every event, Soroptimists tend to collect in hallways and have a photo opportunity. It's the best way for us to connect and have those memories. The second photo is a selfie of Patricia Elias, the EWT Chief of Diplomatic Campaign, and myself after both of us presented at one of our sessions. Another partner that we work with, W7, stands for Women's 7, which is part of the G7 economic group of countries. In 2024, Italy hosted the G7 meetings, and SI Italy was very instrumental with strong participation and presentation as leaders within the W7 committees throughout 2024. W7 brings together feminist civil society organizations from all parts of the world. SI Italy members were very instrumental in the W7 communique, the processes through the G7 meetings. They also held a side event where Alice from our SI Youth Forum played a major role in promoting SI. Next slide, please, Jo. As an accredited organisation to the Commonwealth, SI have clubs in 36 of the 56 Commonwealth countries. We have our own SI representative to the Commonwealth, Pat Dale, and Pat's here today, and that is very active within the Commonwealth meetings. The 2 top photos show us meeting with Commonwealth members at CSW. We were intermingling with them there and introducing them around. We attend the events delivered by the Commonwealth officially and socially to network and promote Soroptimist International. In CHOGM, as you heard from President Su Yong, the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting was held at the Pacific island of Samoa in October 24, and it was attended by President Su Yong, myself, Christine Johnston, and Janelle Davis from SISEAP. You see the Samoan dancers greeting us on the left at each of the CHOGM events. King Charles officially opened CHOGM, and a photo of him there. The second photo from the left shows President Suyong at the top table presenting the call to action, which you heard the details from her, to support the Violence Against Women and Girls treaty, as we co-sponsored a side event during that meeting. And the second photo from the right shows Millie, a Commonwealth member, and President Suyong at our Soroptimist event held to maximise our Commonwealth connections and network. Then we have our local SI Samoan president, Sabrina, with President Suyong and Christine. These are representative of some of our partners that we work closely with throughout the year to collectively impact the lives of women and girls. I wish to thank each and every one of you who have joined us today. I would now like to invite President Suyong in her capacity as Chair of the SI Global Policy Committee to present global policy. Thank you, President Suyong.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you for the very impactful presentation that giving us the understanding of how we impact the world through our work. Thank you so much for that. I would first like to thank Hannah and Lee and the headquarters staff for helping prepare this report. Frankly, I had not much to do with it. They are the people, but because I'm the chair, they have given me the honor of presenting this report. Thank you so much. So could I just move to the slide? Okay, first thing is, I would like to thank everyone, and just to summarize the global policy work as the chair of global policy in 2024, I will be presenting this report. Please note that due to time constraint, this will be very brief overview of the SI work. So I encourage you to read the annual report for a more comprehensive outline. Can I have the next slide, representation? Yeah. So this shows our Soroptimist International Global Team of representatives to the UN, which have expanded from 18 to 26 representatives in 2024. These 8 additional representatives joined the team in New York, Nairobi, and Geneva. We are active across 7 UN centers in total. You have seen them. The others are Vienna, Paris, Rome, and Bangkok, besides Nairobi and Geneva, which I mentioned earlier. You see that on the slide. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay. 2024 was a busy year, like Lee has mentioned, for the team of reps as well in New York. As I continue its term as the global organizing partner for the women's major group, where Betty Levy helped to facilitate global policy participation. Frances Zainuddin continued her steadfast work for an international legally binding instrument to protect the rights of older persons. And then we have Maria Fonella, who was heavily involved in the preparation for the Summit of the Future, an important highlight event that brought world leaders together to forge a new international consensus on how to deliver a better present and safeguard of the future. Thank you. Next one, New York. I would like to highlight, how come? Are you sure this is the correct one? Yeah, New York, please, thank you. So Jackie Shapiro continued to represent SI on various committees, including the NGO committee to stop trafficking in persons and on the NGO committee on migration, which is working to build partnerships to strengthen data collection to prevent human trafficking and disrupting the illicit financial flows that sustain it. New representatives Marlene McLean, Oya Dane, and Sophia Galiccio have become involved in areas including NGO CSW New York, NGO Working Group to End Homelessness and Youth Engagement via the major group on children and youth. Yeah, next slide. We are talking about Geneva now. The team in Geneva, as you can see, comprises Bert, the boss, Nevin, Nordata, not Donatella, I'm so bad with names, Donatella Benjamin, Stacy Chulik, Pascal Moulet, and Olga. They were active across most areas of the UN in Geneva, which houses the UN Human Rights Mechanism, including the Human Rights Council and the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW. The team submitted reports to the Human Rights Council on the status of women and girls in different aspects of life, including education, technology, facilitated gender-based violence, and climate. The team was also heavily involved in the preparation for the Beijing Plus 30 Civil Society Forum, which was held in Geneva in October 2024. Next slide, we go to Vienna. Yeah. SI has 4 representatives to the UN in Vienna. Marion Prechel, Martina Gretler, Marcella Sigmund, and Christine Pierre. They were actively involved in the UN Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice. And in 2024, they organized a side event which explored the role of women and girls in decarbonizing organized crime. The team also contributed to discussions and work on human trafficking, prison conditions for women, and issues concerning narcotic drugs. And notably, given that the UN's Office on Drugs and Crime is based in Vienna. And we move on to the next slide there. Thank you. In Nairobi. I just want to make sure we are not late. Yeah? Thank you. So Nairobi, we have the Nairobi team also has 4 representatives, Victoria Kuto, Betty Oluk, Habiba Alambo, and Charlene Vanjiro. The team advocates for sustainable development and intergenerational dialogue on issues related to the environment and climate crisis, specifically its impact on women and girls. The team represented Soroptimist International at the 6th session of the UN Environment Assembly known as UNEA 6. Next one we have in Paris. Okay. SI has 3 representatives at the UN Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, in Paris. And we have Evelyn Parra, Marie-Christine Gries, and Rina Dupre, who are the representatives there. Education is at the heart of UNESCO's mission to build sustainable peace, defend human rights, eradicate poverty, and drive sustainable development. In January 2024, the UNESCO NGO Liaison Committee organized Transforming Mentalities, a forum designed to gather examples of good practices and recommendations from the local level to address societal inequalities. SI was invited to present at this forum, which enabled opportunity to broaden our network and to work with NGOs both inside and outside of the official network of UNESCO partners. So thank you for all the work. We have Rome now. Next slide on Rome, please. Thank you. The Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, is an agency of the UN and is headquartered in Rome. SI has 1 representative at the FAO, Liliana Moscow, who works on issues relating to food security and nutrition and the impacts on all women and girls. During the 2024 civil society space at the FAO continued to be limited. However, Liliana participated in several meetings of the civil society and indigenous peoples of the indigenous peoples mechanisms in which they were focusing on climate change, water scarcity, and especially on women and girls empowerment in the context of the access to sufficient nutritious food. So we have next one is Bangkok. And in Bangkok, the UN Center in Bangkok takes a regional approach to issues with a focus on Asia and Pacific. Our representative, Teresa Navashayagam, participated in various meetings, including the UN Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, known as ESCAP in short. She also attended a ministerial conference on digital inclusion and transformation in April 2024, during which she delivered an oral statement on the transformative effects of digitalization and its potential to drive economic growth, highlighting a Soroptimist Club project in the Philippines to illustrate how this is already happening at the local level. And I think that is the last one. Next one. Yes. Oh, not the this I must definitely make a big thank you to all our advisors. And thank you so much for accepting the position in the first place and doing such a wonderful job. Without your help, we won't be where we are. At the beginning of the biennium, as president of Soroptimist International, I appointed 3 advocacy advisors, Beverly Busher, Pat Black, and Linda Bitong. Our advocacy advisor volunteers, they are on a wide range of advocacy work, including research, writing, logistical support, and providing expert advice on various global policy questions, as well as supporting the SIHQ staff. So once again, thank you so much. In closing, I would like to, next one, thank you. I would like to thank the entire SI advocacy team, including all our representatives to the UN and Commonwealth, as well as our advocacy advisors and staff at headquarters, who have worked tirelessly to advance SI global policy and advocacy work at the international level. During my time as president, I also had the privilege of joining almost all of our representatives in person, including in New York, Geneva, Nairobi, Vienna, Paris, not Bangkok, I think. Due to the scope of this presentation, limited work, and the time limit we have today, I have only skimmed the surface of the work that has been achieved across Soroptimist International's global policy work during 2024. I strongly encourage you to read the 2024 report for a fuller overview, which has been achieved to advance the rights of all women and girls. Before I conclude the final one, thank you to the Global Policy Committee for your work that you have contributed during the last year. The Global Policy Committee might have changes for next year, but that is for next year. And maybe even towards the end of the year, they will be following up on the changes that we are making. So thank you so much, everyone, for your contribution, particularly to our UN reps, who may or may not be here. So if you are not here, please, somebody tell your representative at your UN center that every one of you, thank you so much. So the next, sorry, I'll move on to the next subject, which will be questions and answers. Okay.
No, it's item.
Sorry. Deborah.
15. Thank you. Thank you, President Su Yong. Joe, when you're ready, if we could start with the first slide. Thank you very much indeed. So I'm delighted to share with everyone here today attending the meeting that on Wednesday this week, we officially launched the new SI website. The new website has a much more modern and fresh feel, and most importantly, it's much easier to navigate and to find information and resources. And you can now also find all our webinars and podcast episodes on the website for the very first time. As mentioned earlier in the meeting, the annual report of 2024 was published this morning, and I warmly invite you to visit the new website to take a look at it. In the next few weeks, we will be sharing a helpful video guide which will provide, next slide please, Joe. Did we have a picture of the annual? So here's the new website, here's the annual report. So this is what the front cover of the annual report looks like. The front cover photo is actually from the project that was mentioned earlier in Mali, which was run by our wonderful club SI Lumiere, which was helping to provide a new future for these women from who were obviously escaping the conflict that has been in rural areas of Mali. So please have a look at the annual report. It really supports all the presentations and information that you've heard here today. But in the next few weeks, we will also be sharing a helpful video guide which will provide simple and easy to follow instructions on how to use the SI emblem and branding correctly, and most importantly, consistently. The aim is for us all to display the emblem in the same way, using the same colours every time across all platforms, online and printed materials. Consistent use of the emblem and branding is going to play a vital role in helping us to strengthen recognition of our brand internationally. Next slide, please, Jo. We recognise and appreciate that our federations, our regions and our clubs all have their own unique identities and logos. So where and when appropriate, we ask that the SI emblem is used alongside these identities and logos. For example, adding the emblem next to a federation logo, as you can see on screen. The image that's shown on the right-hand side is one of the images that was created for the 16 Days of Activism campaign for last year, for 2024, where you can see the SIGBY logo sitting nicely alongside the emblem, which unifies us and shows that we are all one global organisation. So further guidance can be found in the SI brand guidelines in the resources section on the new website, and we are always happy to provide advice and guidance. Please send an email to hq@soroptimistinternational.org if we can help you further. And just to reconfirm, in the next few weeks, we will be sharing some tutorial videos to help you learn how to apply the branding and use of the emblem correctly. Thank you, President Soo-Young. I think that Margaret and Caroline have been managing the chat with questions. I know some questions that were popped into the chat have already been responded to, but Margaret or Caroline, are there any topics or any questions that we need to answer, please? Margaret, Caroline?
I think they've all been covered.
Did we cover the question about members at the future GMs? Has that been covered? I think so.
Could you put the question to the please?
And this came from Marianne Smith, who is representing the members at the future GMs, because the Federation presidents are part of the SI board in future.
Thank you. Anne Gover, procedural consultant, would you like to respond to that question?
Thank you. Yes, I think I did respond to it, but it may not have been noted. The Federation presidents will become the SI directors, and so federations have the right to elect whoever they wish. It could be the past president, it could be the president-elect, it could be the treasurer, could be anyone that the Federation feels will represent them best as an authorised representative. It's up to each federation to who they choose.
Thank you. Caroline, Margaret, any other questions you think that haven't been responded to, or unless anybody else would like to ask a question now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is opportunity. Anyone?
Somebody says, is it possible to get the slides on the UN representative work?
What do you think is?
We will be sharing the recording of this meeting, and if particular presentations are required, please send an email to hq@soroptimistinternational.org.
So it can be shared, right?
Yes, but please send the request by email.
All right. Anyone? Any more questions?
There was one question concerning about the articles and the bylaws, and will they be available to everybody? At the close of this meeting, the SI articles come into force as the SI bylaws came into force following the approval at last night's board meeting. So those will be available, they will be updated, and they will be sent out as soon as they the full documents are updated.
Yeah, we will publish them on the website within the next 2 weeks.
Good. Any more urgent matters that needed some clarification? Happy to do so, I think, so that we all quite happy and satisfied that we understand what's going on. Thank you. There's none. Any show of
Any
hands?
questions, Caroline or Margaret?
No.
No. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, wow. We are at the end of the meeting. As we come to the close of this annual general meeting, I would like to sincerely thank once again each and every one of you for your time, your participation, and above all, your continued commitment to Soroptimist International. Our discussions today remind us that our strength lies not only in our shared values, but in our collective action. The work ahead will not always be easy, but together we have proven that women support women. When we support women, when we collaborate across borders, cultures, and experiences, we can also create meaningful change. I would also like to take this opportunity to express my deepest appreciation to our SI directors, Federation presidents, position holders, SIHQ staff, and to all those who are working behind the scenes to ensure the meeting runs smoothly, and definitely to our UN reps who are representing us out there at the various 7 UN centers, and to all our advisors and appointed advisors who have really been truly very helpful. At least I feel it that way strongly. Thank you so much for all your work. Thank you once again for being part of this AGM and for all that you do at every level, from your local communities to the global stage. So I look forward to seeing the impact we will create together in the months and years to come. Stay safe, stay inspired, and let us continue to be a global voice for women and girls worldwide. Thank you so much everywhere, all of you, wherever you are. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you. And we would just like to announce that next year's annual general meeting will be held on the 18th of July, commencing at 9 a.m. British Summer Time. So that's the 18th of July, commencing at 9 a.m. British Summer Time. So we now close the meeting at 8:43.
8:43, yeah? You are so punctual.
Could we have a mover and a seconder for that, please, authorised representatives?
Ruth and Joanne.
Many hands up.
Yes, Ruth and Joanne are at the top.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. So can we have a show of hands against closing the meeting? I don't think so. Anyone abstaining? Probably not. And we have 5 for over 5. Yeah, 5 above all the reps. Thank you so much. And at this point, we will show all the faces and say bye-bye for now. Hope to see y'all again at some other meeting, online or offline or online or in person. Sorry. So thank you so much again.